So let's say if I'm gonna ask you, what are the top 5 qualities that you are looking for in your downlines? If let's say, what are the top 5 qualities that you're looking for your prospects? So number one, you want to find someone who is committed, right? You want to find someone, now this is my personal top 5. You want to find someone who communicates with you, coordinates with you. You want to find someone who is coachable, meaning to say he follows your instructions, right? What else? You want to find someone who is consistent. So those are among the top 5 qualities that you are looking for in a prospect. Okay, you are looking for good leaders. That's a top 5 attitude that you're looking for. So here's my question: as an upline, are you coachable? As an upline, are you committed? As an upline, are you consistent? Because you can't find those qualities in other people if you yourself don't possess those qualities. Because like I've said, network marketing is all about duplication, right? So today, let's discuss about some skills, some basic skills. Let's talk about prospecting and inviting, all right? So in prospecting, there are 2 types of prospecting that you can do. You can do hot market or you can do cold market. What is the hot market? Hot market prospecting means you're prospecting people that you know and also know you. So if you're new in network marketing, okay, if you're new in network marketing, I would suggest you work out on your hot market first, right? Because talking to people for some of us is challenging and it's more difficult to talk to people you don't know. So you practice with your hot market first. How? You write, you make a list. So in prospecting, the number one thing that you need to do is make a list. Okay? If you're new, or if you want to restart or reboot your career, I would recommend you write down top 20 people. And you make a list of top 20 people every week. Alright, top 20 people that you need to talk to, you make a new list every week. So what are the qualities that I'm looking for in a prospect? It has to be, number one, they have the money. Who among my contact list on Facebook or my phone do I know that can pay for gold or platinum? Who among my list of friends in Facebook that I personally know that could pay for gold or platinum? So you make a list. Okay, you make a top 20 list of people that you talk to for this week. So next week, you can make another list. Alright? Secondly is the means. Who among my contact list do I know that can find a way immediately to come up with gold or platinum? Alright? So that's the difference between money and the means. Money is, you know, these people have a savings of gold or platinum, or they have a good, let's say, job, and you know that they can pay easily the gold and platinum. That's money. Or means people you know that can find a way, can really find a way if they wanted it to come up with a gold and platinum pay. Alright? Now the third thing is you're gonna look for authority. You're gonna look for people who has influence. You're gonna look for people who has influence. Why? Because in network marketing, you're grooming people. You're looking for people who become leaders, and leaders is defined by their influence. Right? And of course, you will look for someone who has network connections. That's why in network marketing, it doesn't matter if you know a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people when I started in network marketing, but I got some people who knows a lot of people, and that's network. That's what you call network. Lastly, needs. Maybe he or she needs the product. Maybe he or she needs the business, right? But this thing you'll actually find it out once you actually talk to the person. So these are the qualities that you're looking for. If all of these are present, these people is what you call prospect A. All right. So make a list of people that can join as gold and platinum, and you invite these 20 people in 1 week. So that next week you start another list of 20 people that you know that you're gonna talk this week, right? Or another option would be you write down 300 names. And the key is don't prejudge. What do I mean by prejudge? Oh, this person's not gonna join because he's already successful, or this person's not gonna join because I don't know. I know he doesn't have the money. Don't prejudge. Just make a list of 300 names. And out of that name, you choose your top 20 people, which is easier for you. Make a top list of 20 people every week, or write a list of 300 names, and then that's the time you select the top 20 people. Right? But in prospecting hot market, you have to understand a list is very important. Right? You're kidding yourself if you just make mental notes of people who you're gonna invite. I have a list. I've been doing network marketing for how many years, but I still keep my list. I constantly create a list. You're kidding yourself if you just take mental notes of your prospect. You have to write them down. It's like a grocery. Who goes shopping here in the market, right? If you have to shop for 1 week and you don't make a list, the tendency is you will forget an item to buy, right? So what more in prospecting? So you have to make a list. That's the rule in hot market. Now, if you're telling me I've been in this business for quite some time and I'm losing my hot market, I don't know too much people, so I'm losing people that I know. All right, I'm losing a list of people that I know. Then that's the time we do cold marketing. Who here has ever tried cold marketing? Okay, so let me give you tips right now on how to do cold marketing. Because right now, cold marketing is what I do. Okay, I'm here in Africa. Even when I started my expansion here in Africa, I started to market in Uganda. That's the first country that I targeted, and I've never been in Uganda that time.
Why?
And,
Why Uganda?
good question. I don't know why Uganda. No, because mentor Nan Hino was coming to Uganda and Kenya. All right, but I think why Uganda, because they're more responsive than the Kenyans that I talked to. And honestly, I'm sorry, I don't know about Rwanda that time, right? So I only knew a few countries in Africa. I only know Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya. Those are the only countries that I know. Okay, that was last March. So what I did is social media marketing. What I did is an online. I prospected people online. And when I'm in Africa, of course, I need to still continue prospecting. So what I did was I did cold marketing offline. And online and offline is the same thing. Basically, it's the same thing. There's only one rule. Just keep the conversation going. Just keep the conversation going. Because most mistakes that network amateurs make is when they see someone, the first thing that they think of is how can I invite this person? That's the number one mistake that you can do. right? In prospecting, here's the key. If you're doing cold markets, if you're doing cold market prospecting, here's the key. You remove I am worldwide from your goal. The goal is not to invite the person because you're just prospecting. The goal is to make connections. Worst comes to worst, if he's not qualified in your business, you make a new friend. That's the worst case scenario. Because in cold market prospecting, it's important that you qualify. I'm not telling prejudge, I'm telling qualify your guests if they're for your business or not. Okay, that's the key. You qualify, don't prejudge. But if after you qualify and they're not business minded, they're not open for opportunities, the worst thing that you can happen, you make a new friend. And who knows, after 1 year, something might change his mind and he comes after you if he is ready for looking for opportunity, right? So you just need to have connections. And nowadays, it's very easy to make connections. Why? There's Facebook. If you just add people every day, 2 new people every day, by the end of the week, your list will already have grown. Okay? So, let me give you a sample of doing it offline cold marketing. So, the number one thing that you need to have in cold marketing is an icebreaker. What is an icebreaker? An icebreaker is anything that you can say just to start a conversation. It really doesn't matter what. It could be hello, could be hi, could be good morning, good evening. Those are icebreakers. And you can even use the season. For example, last January, I had the perfect icebreaker. It's New Year. So I go to office, knock on their door, and just greet the people there, Happy New Year. That's the perfect icebreaker. So the icebreaker is anything that you say to start the conversation. And in prospecting, once you start the conversation, you have to continue the conversation. Keep the conversation ongoing. So how do you keep the conversation going? By asking questions. Understand? The one who asks the most questions is the one who is in control of the conversation. Alright? The one who asks most questions is the one who is in control of the conversation. And guys, you can do it online and offline. So, what are the questions that I can ask to my prospects? Apart from how are you doing and what you're doing, you can ask what keeps you busy? What type of work do you do? Right? How long have you been doing that? What do you like most about your job? What do you don't like about it? So that's just normal conversation. Right? What else? If it's offline, be observant. Because if you're talking to a guy, one of the perfect way to start a conversation is compliments. Who here doesn't like to be complimented? All of us wants to be complimented. So if you're talking to a guy or a person, you can compliment them. Guys like to be complimented in their shoes or their watch. So for example, I'm prospecting mentors and students the first time that I meet you and I just bump into you. Then, hi, how are you doing? I like your shoes. Where do you got those? Right? So those are conversation. If you're prospecting a girl, it's okay. Wow, I like your earring. Where do you get those? I want to buy my wife one. Something like that. So you just compliment. Or if the guy is dressing, because in Facebook, what I do is I select people who dress sharp, who dress smart. So sometimes that's how I start a conversation on Facebook. I tell them, I message them, hi, wow, you look sharp or you look smart on your profile picture. I was just wondering, are you a businessman? So that's it. That's how you start the conversation. Okay? Just imagine this. Think of how can I make friends? Alright? How can I make friends? So the next thing is, how do I make the transition? Okay, so all right, I've conversed to this person, I already built rapport. You can ask, how's your family? Where do you originally live here in Kigali? Right? What keeps you busy? What type of work do you do? So after asking those questions, I go to my transitional questions. I will find out if this person is open for business or not. So how do I do that? I will ask them, have you ever considered of starting your own business? Okay. If they said yes, then this is a business-minded person. I proceed to my question. If they said no, then you can't really prospect someone who's not business-minded. Right? That's the first requirement. That's the first qualifications you're looking for. You're looking for people who's open-minded or business-minded to new opportunities. If that person is not open, then I don't need to prospect him. I just maybe keep connection, become friends, and that's it. Right? So I first ask, um, have you ever considered of starting your own business? Secondly, I ask them, okay, so how much money do you think you need to put up with to start the business you have in life? Okay, so I'm searching a way. I want to know how much budget does he or she has to start her own business. And I will also ask her, why do you want to start your own business? Because remember, as network leaders, your job is to help people get their goals, right? And you can't help them if you don't know what their goals are. So I will ask them, why have you ever considered starting your own business? How much money do you think you need to put up with to start your own business? And then if they give me a number, I simply ask, okay, is that money, is it you're looking for it, or do you still plan to raise it? And sometimes they say, oh, no, I still plan to raise it, but I have 200 francs, 200,000 francs with me right now. Okay. So if they say, for example, for example, your guest, he has a guest yesterday. I asked him, how much money do you think you need to start up? How much money do you need to start up your own business? And your prospect said 6,000, right? $6,000. And I asked him, okay, do you have that money right now, or do you still plan to raise it? Oh, I still plan to raise it. All right. So if ever, let's say, you just start your own business right now, how much money are you willing to invest? He says $1,000. $1,000 is equivalent to gold, right? So automatically, I know this person can buy what? Gold. So I already qualified the person. First thing is I find out if he's open for business or not. Second, I want to know how much money is he willing to invest. And third is, yeah, that's pretty much it. So he has 1,000. Now I know what's the range, what's his buying price. So what I do is, for me to start the presentation, it depends. It's either you're gonna present to him or you're gonna invite to him. If you're gonna present to him, what I normally say is, based on everything that you told me, you said you wanted to start your own business, but you have only 1,000 right now. I can show you a plan that is perfect fit for you. And then I start the presentation. But what if I'm just about to invite the person? All right? Here's the thing. Take note. You have to take note of this. There's a magic question in inviting people. The magic question is, if I, would you? That's the magic question. If I, would you? If I show you a plan that could double your income in the next 3 months, will you be interested about it? If I show you a way on how you can have more time to spend on your kids and family and earning serious money on the side, will you be interested about it? Okay? So if they said yes, okay, so if I invite you over coffee tomorrow at 5 p.m., will you be able to join me? If I set you up with an appointment together with my mentor in our office, can you come and meet him? So if I would you, right? So for example, you don't know how to present yet. So you can tell, oh, if I introduce you to my mentor, his name is Mentor Letitia. He's one of the top achievers in our company, and she's very credible to discuss to you the plan. But this is a strict appointment. If I set up an appointment tomorrow evening, will you be able to come and meet her? So that's how I invite. You can do it even if in your hot market. If you have your hot market, and for example, we're friends, all right, we're close friends. So because if we're friends already, I don't need to build rapport
Mm.
because we're already friends. So what's your name, Andrew? Selena. Silile. Okay, Silile. Is that a Rwandan name or a French name?
French.
French. Silile. Okay. So hey, Silile, how are you doing? Hey, listen. Uh, I recently bought a business. You can use the term bought because really you bought a business, right? You bought a package, you bought a business. I bought a business and I need your opinion on it. If invite you to coffee sometime, maybe tomorrow afternoon, can you join me? So what that was an indirect approach. Okay, normally if you're kind of new in the business, I don't recommend you using direct approach. All right, it depends. It depends on where you're comfortable on with that. But there are two type of approaches: direct and indirect. Indirect is that example. That's an example of indirect. Okay, direct approach is you tell them it's network marketing, or you give them more information about the business. So, for example, that's an indirect. This is a direct approach. Hey, 16. Hey, listen. I can compliment him. You're one of my closest friends, and you're one of the people that I trust. Now, I'm working with a project right now, okay, and I know this guy who started the expansion here in Quebec. So what we do is we distribute organic juice from Australia, and we're the first one to distribute here over East Africa. You can earn somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 per month. So I just want to ask you, is that something that would interest you? If you said yes, all right, good. If I set you up with an appointment together with my mentor to explain more details and give you more information about it, will you come and join us? Okay? So, and that's also the perfect answer if someone asks, what do you do? Right? Have you ever encountered that if you're prospecting someone and they ask you, what do you do? And you just say, I'm a businessman. Or I'm an entrepreneur. Or sometimes they say, I'm a promoter. Automatically, that kills your prospect. Why? Because you stop the conversation there. So how can you continue the conversation? You have to give that person something that he would be interested about. So for example, if I'm talking to someone, even on Facebook or offline, and they ask me, what do I do? I tell them, okay, well, I work with a company called I Am Worldwide. We distribute nutritional products, organic juice from Australia. And we're the first company to do so here in East Africa. Someone can earn somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 per month. Do you know anyone who might be interested? Do you know anyone who might be interested? And they would say that person, yes, I would be interested. Okay, so if I set you up with an appointment to explain and give you more information about this, will you come? So that's basically how I interact. All right. So let's just talk about prospecting, inviting just for now. Maybe we can talk more about skills on how to present properly and how to close people some others time. But for now, let's just focus on prospecting and inviting. So do you have any questions that I can help you with? You want to ask me something about prospecting and inviting? None? Yeah.
My question is, if you prospect someone and he come here, he run, and he agree with the business after, you know, and he tell you that some people tell him that it is not fair. What can I
Is that what?
it is not a good business. What
Okay.
can you do in that situation?
But he agreed and he left. Okay. Okay. But he came, right? So meaning to say, if he came, you did a good job in prospecting and a good job in inviting. So if he did not join, then meaning to say there's something wrong with your closing or follow-up. Because um, if you notice me close, if for example a prospect tells me that I will join next week, I will have the money next week. So I add something with my closing. What is that? I tell that person, all right, but if you have any questions at all, you ask me. Because if you want to get the right answer, you ask the right people. If you're sick, you go to an engineer? No, you go to a doctor, right? If you want to build a house, you ask an architect, right? So if you have any more questions about this business, don't ask other people. Go straight to me. So that's a one way of me kind of protecting my prospects, right? Because once they step out of the door, there's a lot of negativity that they will be entertained of, right? There's a lot of discouragement outside. So what I do before I let him go, I tell him something like that. Okay. So if I'm talking to him and he says no, I don't like the business. All right. So I ask him what. I tell him like this. Okay. Look, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Because you have to understand, guys. People will join if they love the product, if they trust you, and or they trust the company. If you establish those three things, people will buy. If you miss one, they won't. So if they're telling me the business is not fair, it's not a good business, then I ask, okay, if you tell me, this is what I will tell him. If you tell me you don't like my products, I will respectfully argue with you. If you don't trust me or my company, I would be glad to educate you more. But if you don't have the money right now, I respect